Yo, 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 yo. We here with a special check-in edition. My man Suron, what's good, brother?
What's good, man?
Hey man, we've been going back and forth in these chats with Mike today. I figured we take it to the people, let people know what's good with this Kendrick Lamar joint.
Yeah, me and Mike been going at it all day.
So I figured why keep it contained to the text thread? Let's get this popping. Let's talk about it. Mike tapped in. Let's play Mike. Let's get some people in the room real quick. Then we're gonna play what Mike had to say, and then we'll jump into the analysis of what Mike had to say. But let's get Mike going here. One second. Hold on.
What's good, people, man? Kendrick dropping a new song. People keep asking me what I'm thinking about it. What does it mean? And I'm gonna give I guess, quick preview because I want to jump on this, immediately, and we're gonna talk about it on Monday's show for sure. And I'm sure, on the weekend ride as well. But last night, Wednesday, September 11th. Kendrick Lamar released a new song, like right before the MTV Awards dropped, actually right before Eminem jumped out there and opened up the VMAs. And I believe it's called Let the Party Die. He put it on his Instagram. Kendrick doesn't really post anything, but, when he does post, it is music, or at least it has been for the past year or so. This one, the cover art was some rundown Air Force Ones, all black, of course. And it's more in that cryptic tone. It's, I guess, it didn't have a title on it, but he kept saying, he's got to let the party die. And this is Kendrick speaking in more of his, for lack of a better term, self-righteous tone. I think he threw some shots at DJ Academic. I think that this song is kind of in the midst of a response, per se, to certain people who didn't feel like he deserved that Super Bowl halftime, or at least people who have mentioned him since that news has rolled out. Okay. A few things. I know him and Drake still kind of got an active back and forth. But, Kendrick's the type of artist where we do want to hear him make music. And he spoke to not making music frequently and whatnot. But we also want Kendrick to make meaningful music. And this surge of music seems extremely self-righteous, in my opinion. I know people are going to say, might be in a hater, yada, yada. But it's like, you're coming across as anti-industry, and you're very industry. You're doing the Super Bowl. You were chosen to do the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm sponsored by Rock Nation, Apple Music, the NFL. Look, and you're in business with Apple Music and now the NFL, Interscope Records, and whatever. So you're very industry. And I think that when Kendrick comes across, or when he goes out there and acts like he doesn't really want this level of success, per se, and I could be wrong, but it comes across as phony and fake, because clearly you do like all of the adulation that comes with this, the success that comes with this. This was the mission, but it's almost like a Pink type approach. For the people who don't remember the artist Pink, she used to be very anti-pop star, but was a pop star herself. And to me, these tones that Kendrick is putting on is starting to come across as that. We get it. You're conflicted. I mean, we've been hearing that since To Pimp a Butterfly. And I don't know if this is the ongoing narrative that we're going to keep hearing from Kendrick from here on out. But to me, a record like this, I don't really understand what the point of that record is. I don't think it's an album record. I don't think there's an album coming. And I don't think a record like this does anything for that level of preparation either, other than the fact that it just keeps you out here. So, I mean, overall, I think it's one of those songs that came out, heard it, I'm probably not really going to listen to it again like that. And again, it was cryptic. It was throwing subliminal shots. And it was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't whack or anything like that. But I don't think it moved the needle any. I think it just kept Kendrick out there. Maybe that was the purpose. But yeah, I don't really see the purpose of a record like this. And me personally, I'm starting to get a little bit bored with the whole narrative that these guys are this and I'm this, and these guys are this and I'm this. And it's like, I get it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, from a spiritual level, you're looking at this differently, but we also have to factor in that you really didn't handle this battle or handling this battle from a spiritual sense either. Now, no one's really talked about this. And, again, I'm Mike V, so I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm trying to be honest with the fans and the audience. Why doesn't Kendrick get any pushback for the fact that he just made up a whole daughter, and whether he got wrong information or whatever, but you just made up a whole situation that wasn't even a situation and did a whole song about it and went to dig deep, and it was literally nothing there. And you're still going. And I don't know, man. It just comes across as, at this point, whatever I can go out there and say about Drake to continue to keep the buzz going, I'm going to do. And I know that Kendrick, being the type of individual that he presents himself to be, people are going to make it seem like he's above that. Like, he's not going to go out there and cloud chase on Drake. Why would he go out there and cloud chase on Drake? But if we're being perfectly honest with ourselves, he wouldn't be doing the Super Bowl halftime show if he didn't get into this rap back and forth with Drake. So Drake has enhanced his profile, at least in 2024. And, Drake is the inspiration behind Not Like Us, a record that is probably Kendrick's biggest song. Now, the fact that he's still going with this, it kind of lets you know that either A, I got to keep the buzz up by continuously going at this guy, or B, he doesn't have any other material to speak on. Now, I hope I'm wrong, but we need a full album from Kendrick, EP or something, or maybe he needs to just go ahead and release a full album that's dissing Drake, because that seems like everything that's on his mind at this moment. This record, to me, like I said, it wasn't a bad record, wasn't a great record, but to me, it comes across as a pointless record. Like, what was this for? What is this leading us to? What do we know different now? It's just the same I'm conflicted talk. Now, if you want to go out there and put a real diss record out on DJ Academic or whatever, fine, do that. But I don't even think somebody like Kendrick should even be entertaining Academic. Academic don't rap. You did what you needed to do when it came to this Drake thing. But I still say that, to some degree, even his back and forth with Drake is flawed because of the immense level of incorrect information. And let's just keep it real, just lying on wax. Well, we are we're gonna talk about it further on Monday. I appreciate everybody tuning in. And yeah, let's get it.
Okay.
So, Suron, that was Mike's thoughts about the record. To recap what Mike said, Mike thought the album was a little hypocritical. He thought that, he's speaking from a spiritual perspective, but didn't approach the beef with Drake in a spiritual manner. He thought the song was boring. He thought the song was not effective. Mike said he doesn't think an album is coming out. He had a lot to say. So, Suron, what say you about Mike's response to the Kendrick Lamar record?
Interesting take. I was online scrolling when the song first popped up on the IG. At first, I just thought it was like a sound bite or something with a picture. I'm like, oh, it's kind of cryptic post. It's not really like him to just post something with that unless he has something coming. And then I went back to it and I heard the song. I listened to it about 2-3 times. And I'm like, okay, I already knew from the beat, he's not going to grab people's ears by the beat. You know, that's not what this was. This wasn't a record where he's trying to bar somebody up. I took it as him responding to everybody. And if you're really listening to the track, it's not directly aimed at Drake. It's addressing everything of what people have been saying about him through this time frame throughout the beef, you know, and addressing the BS he's seeing about the industry. I don't think it's hypocritical at all, that because he is that's like Jeezy going in his interviews back then. He used to say, like, I'm not a rapper, I'm this, I'm a trapper. Like, yes, you are a rapper, you're literally a rap artist, you know. So with him saying things against the industry, you could be a part of the industry and not like things about the industry, and then you do have the right to address things in the music. I'd rather him address these things in the music than going back and forth with people on social media and playing itself, you know. Put it in the music, get your points off. I just don't think it's fair when everybody else could openly speak about a person and this person's supposed to take it and have nothing else to say. He's just supposed to lay down and let people get their opinions off, pass their narratives about it, and he just supposed to not say anything. You know, I'm glad that he's responding. When I listen to that track, it's like he's talking to them. He's not barring them to death. He's talking to them. You know, this is still music. This is still an art form. And I'm kind of disappointed in that take, because if you're a person that love hip hop and love the artistry of hip hop, you could not like the record, but you could still understand his the content and what he's talking about in that song. This is a person that's talking about his artistic standpoint when it comes to music and what music has came into. And I feel like as an artist and as a part of the game and being named as one of those top artists, you have the right to address those points. There's a lot of people that did take sides and media wise to talk about Drake and kind of like be on his jock about stuff from academics. You even heard like some things with Cam and Mace. You heard certain people kind of align themselves with Drake, even Gilly, you know, align themselves with Drake. And it kind of makes you wonder if it's authentic or is it because you want something from Drake, you know, and he addresses that. And I just feel like he has a reason to push back at it. I know people say it's hypocritical because you're talking anti-industry, but you're of the industry. You got the stuff for Apple Music. You're on a Super Bowl. Well, I always say when you get the choice to be on a platform, no different from me being on here, when you have a platform where you could reach masses, do you not align yourself with being a part of those to get your message across, or you just not say nothing at all? And I feel like you have to stand for something, or you not standing for nothing at all, you know. And I feel like when he's being put on the stages, whether it's him showing his artistry or him making a statement, I feel like there's always a reason why he's doing stuff, as far as just going out and try to get a quick dollar doing it. I feel like every time when Kendrick drops, there's some type of point he wants to get across. I'd rather prefer that over the quantity of people dropping. He addressed everything. He addressed the way he drops music and why he doesn't drop music the way he does. He addresses the media takes, the things that's being said, the attempt that Drake trying to bait it back to a round two. You know, I think he's giving everybody what you want as far as addressing the things. He's not doing interviews. He's not hopping on social media. He's not doing that. He's putting his stuff in the music and talking to them and responding. I just don't see what the issue is with that. When I'm like, all right, Drake, you did the hard part 6. Didn't go over well with a lot of people. Not Like Us took off. And you said you were done with it. But then you're steadily doing these subliminals, and on your Instagram, you're sending these sneak disses and pictures and lives, and you go and drop a new song, No Face, where you kind of get at this stuff again. And it's like, so Kendrick could ride off to the sunset with Not Like Us and not say anything, and people are going to be like, oh, well, he goes back into hiding, he's scared for a round 2. Or do you address it? Like I said, if you're really listening to the song, it's not a direct shot at Drake whatsoever. It's addressing things, but it's addressing many things in that. And it's just like, man, it's either you're going to love the music or you're going to hate it, but we're not going to sit here and act like Kendrick has never made a stance of a point on something in any part of his music. He's always been socially conscious. He's always been careful about the content he put in his music. as far as the thing saying going against the spirit with stuff in the beef or whatever, this is what I don't like. If we're engaging and somebody takes it low, am I supposed to stay on my high road and be above that? No, that's not winning in the hip hop beef. When Drake went low, he went to hell. You know, it's just simple as that. The mudslinging started at Drake. Let's not forget about him planting that stuff about the baby might be Dave Freeze and him being a woman beater and stuff of that stuff that's never been proven to be true. But when Kendrick responds the way he does, and because Kendrick had the upper hand and he got the best of him with that, then it's he's hypocritical and all that stuff. It's a rap beef, man. Anything goes, nothing's off limits. And I can't stand how when these things happen, we became such a society that leans on social media takes and group think that we forget about the moments when these records drop. You know, let's not act like euphoria doesn't exist. You know, there's many points where he dissected Drake's career, dissected his background, dissected the culture when it comes around Drake and that. And I feel like every song, it was peeling back the layers of that. And Not Like Us was for the people. It was just him. It was kind of like a victory dance in a sense, because he kind of felt like, all right, you said what you said. Boom, I'm going to drop this bomb on you. Let this go. And I'm dropping the mic. But it seems like Drake's a sore loser. Take your L, keep it moving, bro. There's other part. There's more to go in your career, but he's not. So when you have a person that's a sore loser and they keep on begging for more, you have a guy that's sitting here and say, okay, I'm going to give you more. May not be in the capacity of what you think is going to be in, but I'm not going to keep on letting these people say what they say about me, and I'm not going to say anything about it. And if you guys think he's going to get on that Super Bowl stage and not make some type of statement or anything, you're sadly mistaken. He always stood for something. One last thing I'm going to say is when it comes to rap beef, I don't like when individuals go and they listen to these rap beefs and then they try to dissect stuff as far as what's fact and what's not. We've never did that in hip hop. We've never listened to a beef and said, oh, let me go see what the facts are. Now, if we relate that to underground battling, we know it goes over well when there's personals. But it's I spit, you spit, and the people determine who the winner is. Not we're gonna go back and we're gonna fact check everything this artist said. Because if we did, then there would be a lot of beef tracks that will discount off the fact of what's true and what's not. We have Pac that did Hit 'Em Up. We had Ice Cube that did No Vaseline. We have so many classic beef joints. If we go back and dissect what's the truth and what's not, it's taken that away from it, man. It's like I said, it's about what sounds better to the people. And the people said that Kendrick won. The culture said that Kendrick won. Kendrick spit, Drake spit. They went back and forth, and the people said what it was. And I just feel like the Drake fans or Drake himself or whatever, they just don't know how to take the L, man. People got to move on. All I want to do is hear good music from this point. And if people think that a Kendrick album's not coming, they're sadly mistaken. I can't see him doing the Super Bowl and not having an album drop around that time. So, yeah, that would be the smart thing to do is dropping around the Super Bowl. He's going to do things the way he wants, and it is what it is.
No doubt, no doubt. Let me get to the super chats real quick. I know people are just joining the room. Surprise show tonight. Kendrick Lamar dropped a surprise song last night. Watch the Party Die. We wanted to give our feedback in real time. So Mike tapped in a little bit earlier. We're going to play that again. But let me get to the super chats real quick. Mad Max says he said no round twos, but started round two. Okay. Mad Max, the super chat says it's hypocrisy because he gets awarded by the industry constantly and he's acting like he's not a part of it. And people align with Dot. So it wasn't just Drake. Tell the truth. Tell the whole truth, not just the half truth. Well, you know, he does. I mean, Drake talked about that in Family Matters, right? He's got that line, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Somebody hand him a Grammy right now. You know what I'm saying? He think Kendrick is in an Interscope machine, whether you like it or not. That's not hate. That's just real talk. He's part of the Interscope machine. Being a part of that machine extends you certain benefits. Gives you a bigger platform, which it should. I mean, if you have a media apparatus, a record company, you build that company to give your artists a platform to elocute their message and spread their message globally. That's the whole point of a record company. So I'm not knocking that, but he does have advantages that other artists don't. Mad Max's super chat again says he's only socially conscious for profit. Dot don't care about nothing. Mr. Morale was a complete depression. To Pimp a Butterfly was corporate wokeness. We talking about a guy that said nothing, said that uniting his coast by having gangs on stage. Well, you know, it's just interesting. We want to see what he will do at the Super Bowl. But let me get back to the basics before I bring Mike B back on with his thoughts, and we're gonna kind of dissect it bit by bit. I'm gonna give you a basic, honest take. I know Michael Brown doesn't like my take, so he's not gonna like this one. So, Michael Brown, you ready for this take? I'm gonna give you Suron. You ready for my take?
Yeah.
You ready for my assessment?
Yes, sir.
I hear what you're saying. The song had some meaning, it had depth. He was addressing different circumstances, different things that people have been saying about him. But the song just didn't sound good to me, man. I just didn't like the record. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't like the record. I was disappointed that he came out after his victory lap because he won the battle. Even though I think Family Matters was a dope song. I liked Euphoria, 660 in LA. I didn't like Meet the Grams. I'm not going to rehash what I don't like and didn't like about the battle. Not Like Us, not my favorite record, but it was a victory lap, as you said. I thought he was going to play that DJ Mustard song he did in the beginning of the video, come out with that, make some different type of music, right? Take your victory lap. This sounded more depressing. It sounded self-serving a little bit, and I just didn't like it. I just don't think the timing of this record makes any sense. I know you said the record's not about Drake. I think it's about academic. It's about the space that Drake created. I thought some of the bars sounded, watch the party die. You can you can kind of make a parallel that, he say, I walked that man down. And he's talking about Drake a little bit in the record. Watch the party die. Maybe he's talking about the party is Drake and he's watching the party die. So I think it's about Drake a little bit. And I told Mike earlier in our chat, I told you as well, you in the chat, how many songs does this man have to make about this dude? Even if it's not about him specifically, it has the appearance that this song is about Drake. And his energy seems to be in grievance instead of celebration. So if I was, a part of his camp, which clearly I'm not, and I don't want to be, I would do a victory lap. Man, you got the Super Bowl, you got the world in your hand, people ready for you hear your music. You put down your enemy, you walked him down like you said. Let's hear some different type of music, man. Let's hear some different type of energy, man. I don't know.
This is the thing about the Kendrick stuff. When Kendrick, it was once his biggest indictments. Kendrick doesn't drop music. Kendrick doesn't want smoke, and when he gives the people what they've been complaining about the whole time, then it's like, all he does is talk about Drake. Well, all Drake has been doing is kind of obsessing himself with Kendrick in a way as well. His attempts of putting out this music is to try to get away from Not Like Us, essentially, like that 100 gigs, and you do, stuff is not going over well. Then you drop No Face, and it's kind of like still is not really doing much. It's not getting the reaction you want. So it was like, okay, I can agree with people if they feel like it was boring, the beat wasn't there, it wasn't a bop. But like I said, I don't think his mission on that one is to get a hit. I don't think his mission was to go with a popular sound or to score something that's major. I think it was just out there to put out this notice. Hey, I hear what you're saying, and I'm addressing this. Album coming soon. If anybody want to talk about a machine, I think Drake probably has one of the biggest machines right now in hip hop. And it has been showing. So that's interesting. People say that, like, the biggest people that speaks have who has a voice have kind of aligned themselves with Drake more so than anything. So it's kind of funny, like, we talk about a machine, and people act like Kendrick just started being socially conscious, like Section 80 don't exist, he didn't give us a classic on Good Kid, Mad City, and he's literally talking about the upbringing of being in that area of LA and the good and the bad and maneuvering as an adolescent through that time and To Pimp a Butterfly and all this. This is not to be a false prophet and gain off that. He's literally giving you guys reality rap. And it's kind of funny that he's criticized for this, but people also praise Nas in the same sense, because If you listen to a Nas, you listen to a J. Cole, and then you listen to a Kendrick, I feel like all of them have grappled with their art in some sense where they want to be true to the art, but you do kind of want that popularity love. You want to do that. And then some of them have flirted with it, and some of them has went on and crossed over and made those songs. But when we look at all their trajectories and the way that they view hip hop art, is sort of similar. So we can't sit here and act like what Kendrick doing is so wrong. Like, do you want quality music that's about something that has a real meaning to it, or do you want microwavable music that you could just dance to and it's all cool? I think there's a place for both, but when you're talking about one over the other, in this case, the art won, beating the popular thing at their own game. So it's interesting.
Well, he beat him at his own game a little bit because he only dropped one song in that game. Not Like Us was in that game, but after that, there are no other records like that. And the song that he had the video that he played a little snippet of, I think DJ Mustard might have done. We were waiting to hear that. I got a couple text messages earlier saying, "Well, where's that joint at? Can we get that joint?" People want to have a mix, like you said. It can't be all doom and gloom. It can't be all, like you said, your Nas and Jay-Z argument, right? You like Nas. Nas is one of your favorite rappers, but you don't get in your car and ride out to Nas. You said, right?
Yeah.
You don't do that, right? He needs a mix. He go give us some introspective records, right? Give us some records to vibe out to. Get your grievances out. Drop your conscious joints, but give us something, and let the song that bops not be about Drake. Because the song that bops, again, it's about that man. Let me get to the super chats real quick. MC says the loudest voices in hip hop are aligned with Drake. Now, who are the loudest voices in hip hop? We talking about academics? Who we talking about? Who we talking about is the loudest voices? Joe Budden? I don't think Joe Budden's aligned with Drake. Who are the loudest voices in hip hop?
I mean, there was, you have Ack, you have Gilly, you had Cam and Mace. I mean, these are people that have aligned themselves with the likes of Drake. We're not going to sit here and act like that's not going on. And we have Maul, Rory and Maul. That's one of his biggest cheerleaders is Maul. So let's not act like there's not voices that's out here on behalf of Drake. Everybody was sleeping on Kenny for a little bit until Not Like Us dropped, and you're kind of forced to have to nod your head to it like this is a bop. But you know something that's interesting on Not Like Us is Kendrick showed you if you want to get in that bag, he can actually do it. But that's not what he wants his music to be about. You see how people are just trying to hold him to Not Like Us right now, as if he doesn't have a great catalog of music beforehand. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be held to just that either when that's not my true bag that I'm doing all the time. If you even look at the singles that Kendrick puts out, I think it's kind of strategic the way he does the music. We know he can go out there and he could make these hits if he wants to. I just think it's an interesting way of how he want to approach it. And it's art. Everybody has the way they interpret art the way they want to, but to criticize it the way that they do, and it's kind of contradictive because there's other artists that people put on the pedestal that he's in the same kind of category as and trajectory is interesting. I just kind of feel like people just move the goalposts for people they love. And at the end of the day, it's you want substance or do you want party music? Like I said, there's a room for both, but we're not going to act like because one does other, his stuff is trash versus the one who doesn't.
Right. All right. You got a point here. Let me get to the super chat real quick. Mad Max says Joe Budden aligned with Dot, Charlamagne the God aligned with K Dot, Elliot Wilson, Ebro, etc. Stop it. Cam and May said they ain't like Euphoria. That's all saying with Gilly. They ain't give real opinions. Okay, Mad Max. We're gonna have Mad Max chime in. We want to hear Mad Max tap in real quick. MC, the loudest voices were not the right voices, though. I don't know where you're getting with that, bro. But I feel you. I mean, again, man. People say they don't like my takes. That's fine. I just don't. I told you, Section 80, damn, my favorite Kendrick albums. But this record right here just didn't move me. I'm not gonna go listen to this record again. But I will go back. I will go back and listen to 616 in LA. I'll do that. I might put on Euphoria. Mm-hmm. I might put on Rigor Mortis. I might put on Ronald Reagan era. I might play those records. I might play Love. I might play Humble. I might go back to those Kendrick records. But this record right here, like the way I look at things, man, when you got the game in a chokehold, and I think Kendrick has the game in a chokehold right now. All respect to K-Dot. He defeated his opponent. He walked him down. He played chess. He got the Super Bowl, and now you got to come out with a banger, man. Is that too much to ask, man? I ain't trying to say you could be conscious with a banger because, like, you look Rebel Without a Pause. I mean, you look at Fight the Power. You look at Welcome to the Terror Dome, Night of the Living Bass Edge. You can add some funk into your music and still be conscious. You know, even with NWA stuff that was gangster rap, but it, Express Yourself and Straight Outta Compton, they had some gangster rap fused with some socially conscious lyrics within their songs. You can still make songs that bop that don't sound so depressing. This song just sounded depressing, man. I'm not gonna get in my car and listen to it. I'm not gonna go work out. I gotta lose some weight. I got a little belly coming. I ain't gonna listen to this joint. You know what I'm saying? It's just not, especially if you got the game in a chokehold. Do your thing, man. Make some music, man, that people can enjoy. But maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's for other people. Maybe I just don't get it. Somebody said I'm not a thinker in the chat. Maybe my brain just doesn't decipher the greatness that Kendrick is dropping. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know.
I mean, when it really comes down to it, too, I don't think this record was meant to be one of those joints that's to be remembered forever or anything. I think it's exactly what it is, which is a response. He released it on IG. I haven't seen it on streaming services, on DSPs yet. Have you guys or anybody seen it on DSPs yet? I've seen some people get it and rip it and put it on YouTube and stuff like that, but I haven't seen it officially be put on DSPs. I'm not saying it's not. I just haven't seen it. So I think it's telling he put it on IG and didn't go and hurry up try to capitalize off a quick dollar putting it on there. Eventually, it'll probably be on DSPs, but I don't think it was meant for that, man. I think it's exactly what it is. There's a response. I think there's a great statement he's going to make on this album that's going to come. And we just seen him hold down his set on the pop-up show. And you see his mixture of records he have. He has bops, Good Kid, Mad City, that self-titled track. The beat on there, him and MC8, like that's not your typical depressing sounding K-Dot record. You have Backseat Freestyle. That's not your depressing, like he shows it. Even the tracks on the Black Panther soundtrack and stuff like that. Like he has the joints where he can get in his bag where he could give you something to nod your head to. But like I said, like I think Kendrick's music is more so about the message in it. Like I said, when you look at every album, it's sort of a theme. And like I said, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But to downplay it like it's not good in its own right and stands a place in hip hop artistically is kind of crazy. When like I'm gonna ask people this: what is on Drake's side? What is a conscious record of substance that he ever put out?
God's Plan.
So if we could say,
I'm just throwing that out there. God's Plan. I don't know.
Because if we could say, all right, Kendrick, all he does is make this type of music, whatever, then we could say, oh, well, Drake, all you do is make these these type of records as microwave, blah, blah, blah. But like no matter how you cut it and how many albums it is, where's the substance? All I've got personally from Drake is kind of like his upbringing in a sense, but we still haven't got truly his background, like in his music. I mean, on Nothing Was the Same, which is one of my favorite Drake albums, he has some things. He talked about his relationship with his dad and joined about his mom and that kind of stuff, but really is no culture that you hear that he's coming from in his music. There's no substance you hear from what is coming from the music. It's just great records. We can't take that away from Drake. He's a genius when it comes to making hits. He's a genius to the way he puts out music and feeds his base and being able to stay relevant throughout these years. I feel like anybody who could be in the game with so much longevity, there's some intelligence that go to the way of how they approach music, but that doesn't mean it's of substance. And now when we think about it, when you go back to listen to Drake's records and all his albums, I need you guys to tell me, what is a record of substance from him? When has he ever stood for anything? When has he ever spoke out about anything of substance? Whenever has he given you something to sit with that made you think? And I would really want to hear what happens, because to me, this is, like I said, he's a pop star. There's nothing wrong with being a pop star. If you want to get the money, that's where it's at. But don't be an individual that criticizes a person that's more artistically inclined in their music than compared to your bubblegum music, when your beginnings, if people don't like to remember for Drake, his sound was a little bit of that backpacker and conscious sound in the beginning. And you knew that wasn't going to make you the money. And so you knew what rap to take. So it's very hypocritical in that sense, more than this for anything anybody say about Kendrick.
No doubt. I want to clarify some things in the chat, right? So I'm not saying that I don't like Kendrick at all. I'm just not a fan of the albums that most people in the audience and in the mainstream media like to herald. I when I get in my car, sometimes I put on Section 80. I listen to High Power. I listen to Rigor Mortis. I look at ADHD. Ronald Reagan Era is one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs. Sometimes when I'm in my car, I might put on Damn. Those are the records I go back to. I'm just not a big fan, and I want to make this very clear. I'm not a fan of The Pimple Butterfly. I'm not a fan of that record. You know, I'm not a fan of Mr. Morale. I'm not a fan. I mean, I like Good Kid, Mad City, but that's I don't revisit that album as often as I do Section 80 and Damn. But that's just me. And Drake, I listen to Drake when I'm with my wife. When we out in the club, we out here chilling. Somebody also in the chat says I don't like Jizza. Jizza Liquid Swords, one of the first albums I bought. And I also heard shadowboxing in clubs in New York City. So you might be in Brooklyn, they might drop shadowboxing in the club one night. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what clubs you at. You might be in the Bronx. You might hear it in the Bronx. So I do like Jizza. Wu-Tang Clan is one of my favorite groups. So I do like Jizza. I do like hip hop with thought. I'm just saying specifically for this record that came out yesterday, Watch the Party Die, it just wasn't for me. And shout out to my man, said I look like Roscoe from Martin. You know, I'm a dad, man. I got kids, man. I got some shit on. I just took my kids to karate practice. I got the kids and shit, man. I ain't trying. We had a pop-up show. I wasn't trying to be fly, man. I threw on some of my shades and my hat, man. You know, I'm looking like a dad today, man. But we got Mad Max. We got Leroy. Let's get Leroy in here. Mad Max, Leroy, jump on, man. What's going on, brothers? What y'all think about the record?
It's good, y'all.
Mad Max, before you cook up Leroy, because I know you got a lot. Mad Max, what's your thoughts on this record, brother?
The record was trash. So like we know it's trash. So we don't even have to talk about the record.
Mad Max, you don't rock with Kendrick,
bro. But you, Leroy, please. My issue with Kendrick is the hype machine behind him, and I don't see anything that he does that is crazy. People talk like him, like he's the greatest rapper ever. He is not like that. I'm sorry.
We gotta pick different targets. We gonna go at Kendrick Lamar out of all the rappers to go at. We gonna go at Kendrick Lamar. We gotta pick different targets.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Kendrick Lamar because Kendrick Lamar's a cosplaying buffoon, tap dancer for all them white people for Grammys. All this dude do is make albums so he can win a Grammy and then tell you he's standing for something. Get out of here, man, with this stuff. Like, no disrespect to the cat. He can make his bread the way he makes his bread. But when you do all this virtual singing,
Lamar, let's be clear. We're disrespecting Kendrick Lamar. Let's not.
What the hell about we disrespecting him? What are we talking about? We disrespect Drake. We disrespect every rapper. So what are we talking about?
Cool. So we'll put Kendrick in that batch then. If we just when I got put up on Kendrick Lamar, it wasn't no hoopla. It was a few people that was his fan base, and I watched it grow, but little by little over the years. So this isn't an overnight. Drake is not the overnight rapper or the plant rapper. I watched it grow from a very small group on the blogs commenting when no one cared about Kendrick Lamar, and over the course of years, it grew little by little. So he worked his way into the seat. Nobody went to Compton like let's give you success. That's not how it happened.
I'm not saying that people didn't just give him success. I understand that Kendrick he worked to whatever degree that he worked to get where he's at. But that's not the point, though.
Was a caricature. I could see if Kendrick Lamar was a goofy person,
but he is a caricature.
Who was making black people almost like a minstrel show. I could see if that was the case. This brother's not doing that.
But he is doing that. He's just doing that in a different way.
Exactly.
He's not doing
he's doing that in a different way, but he is doing that.
Okay, time out. Let's explain the thought. Let's expound on the thought. So Mad Max, Ron asked you a question. How specifically is Kendrick Lamar doing what you allude to, or what you allegedly?
All right, so let's talk. Let's start with Damn. Right, he said he was a Hebrew Israelite. Cool. I'm not against that. I agree with the Hebrew Israelite teachings. Cool. He used that for promo. He used that for an album. He tossed that all that teaching to the side. He never went back to that talk again. He was in his kung fu camp.
What would you like him to do? You want him to read scripture to you? Like.
But Leroy,
want him to be Jay
it's
Electronica?
very convenient how you say something for a specific album, then you come back out years later with a damn Messiah artifact on your head. You got the crown of thorns on your head. How are you not playing? How is that not playing a caricature? What are you talking about? All rappers are caricatures. Like they all play certain roles. When Biggie was the pimp. When Hov was doing Iceberg Slim, these are caricatures. To say he doesn't do that at all is ridiculous. That's a lie. That is a lie.
You do realize Kendrick started on this type of wave back with Section 80, right?
He didn't. He was not no Hebrew Israelite talking Hebrew Israelite stuff on Section 80. That's a lie. He only said that on Damn. He never said that on Section 80. That's a fact.
But on Mad Max, in his music, he got 3 minutes per song to convey a message, or on an album, he got about 60 minutes to convey a message. He's going to pick and choose how he conveys a message, but to read scripture to you or break down scripture to you.
I'm not asking no cat to read me no scripture. I'm saying, but then, no, but Leroy, you trying to make a point that I'm not making. I'm saying he does the same things as other rappers in the industry. That's a fact.
Biblical arguments, but know nothing about when the printing press was invented. So you're making arguments, but can't tell me how the
printing press have to do with the Bible.
The fact you don't know is amazing.
The scriptures were written on stone. So what does that have to do with the Bible and the text?
No, everyone knows
the text was before the printing press. I'm not here to talk about the Bible. I'm not here to do that.
That people don't connect a printing press with the Bible is amazing.
Hey, time out real quick. LP, we got a guest on the call. LP, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's good, fellas? How's it going?
Good. Down all if I really wanted to, but I'm gonna play nice.
So
eloquential point, LP. Then we're gonna have Leroy chime in.
Yeah. Okay, so it's crazy because I agree with Leroy 1,000%. Because that's the reality of what happened. Mad Max, I feel you, dog. If you don't like K-Dot's music, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't understand with you, as passionate as you're getting, or like a FE33, the Drake fans. What I don't get is how, whether you agree with what he did or not, listen. Okay, cool. Regardless of what you think about the moves that he made with the crown or whatever, Jay called himself Hoba, all this type of shit, cool, whatever. What I don't get is how a motherfucker who actually comes from Compton, that literally came from an essence. Listen, dog, a person who actually comes from the essence, who, if somebody comes from New York, that matters. If somebody comes from Atlanta, that matters.
Being
if
nice
somebody comes from
being nice matters, not that you're from New York. Just because you're from New York does not make you nice.
Stop it, because I got to make my point, bro. So you don't even know what I'm saying. You're just getting passionate for no reason. You can't get this way if you didn't even finish. Let me finish what I'm saying.
My fault.
I know. It's all good. But what I'm saying is that I don't get how a dude who actually comes from the culture, that's from it, how he gets painted as this antichrist, this faker, even though he did speak about that type of shit on OD and on Section 80, fucking high power and all that, compared to a dude from Toronto who's from motherfucking grew up with the white side Jewish family in Toronto, who came up in acting, who came up cosplaying respectfully. And I understand that Drake is a fan of the little brother shit and he comes from that. I respect it. I like comeback season and all that type of shit. But he chose to make a financial decision. This man was name dropping Julian Assange or whatever that motherfucker's name is on raps with Rick Ross and them 10 years ago on Stay Scheming. He's always been connected to that part of the industry. So what I don't get about the passion and the hate that people have for K-Dot is how can you look at him like a faker and a fake black or whatever, but then praise Drake like he's supposed to be champion in some fashion when he's actually a part of it. He's the one that's got the deal with the main people. Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
All right, so here's the answer. Drake does not virtue signal. There's a difference. Drake is a Drake to me is, I don't want to just violate the kid, but you
already violated K-Dot. Why are you saying it? You already going
Drake,
hard.
Because to me, Drake tells me what he is. He tells me,
and what's that?
He tells me he's a fleshly person into strippers and things of that nature. He has issues with his parents
and I feel you, but when K-Dot drops that mid-album and he talks about it, you demonize him and you bash him for that. But when it comes to Drake, you're like, well, he tells me, but the passion.
Let him finish, LP.
I got you.
All right, let me finish my point. To me, Drake and people like Drake, Jay-Z, and all those cats. I'm not going to say Drake and Jay-Z are the same sentence like that. But when somebody is like that, it's almost like when you have a prostitute, right? And that's a prostitute and they let you know that's a prostitute. If you decide to, wife that, that's on you. They didn't lie to you. Kendrick to me comes off, really like one of these liberal Democrat people who say all this nonsense and is very virtue signaling. His fan base represents him too. All you guys, all I see with Kendrick is I'm not demonizing him because I think he's an antichrist, or I don't think he's an antichrist. I'm not gonna go that far with him. But with this whole though, I'm this hip hop savant savior, and I'm
is he saying that though,
bro? But he does that a lot.
No, the way that people try to portray him, I don't got him in my top 10. You know what I'm saying?
So that's another argument. 30. He's not a top 30
see, that's why you're tripping, dog. See, that's where it goes too far.
Right now, better than Kendrick.
Hold on.
Time out real quick. Leroy, I want you to go, and then Suron, and we'll circle back around. Everybody has some time. So, Leroy, what's your thoughts here real quick, brother?
I'm going to try to make this quick, man, because it's crazy. Kendrick Lamar has been out here for a long time. He dropped a lot of albums that people feel. Sometimes you have to separate your own personal opinion from reality. I'm not a J. Cole fan. I don't think J. Cole is that nice, but other people do. So you know what happens when J. Cole drops music? I separate my opinion because my opinion is my opinion. If 100 people are telling me he's nice, then I'm going to take them serious on what they're saying. I don't have to agree. Now that's one thing. He dropped a series of classic albums. That's another thing. The conscious angle that he comes with, there are worse rappers that would disregard consciousness and throw that out the window. If he's virtue signaling, well, that means a virtue is there in the first place. To anybody of any faith, right? Kendrick is simply saying the divine power that's up in the that is everywhere is also in me. So he could be a savior or not a savior, but guess what? Everybody has the same power. Kendrick puts on his pants one leg at a time. He's not above you. He's not better than you. He's not doing anything that you cannot do yourself. Biblical angle. The Bible is made of paper and a binder. Before the printing press was invented, there was not mass consumption of the Bible because how would they get it in their hand? So what we're talking about is a very new book. It's not that old. We're talking
text was before the printing press, but it was on stone.
It was on stone, but y'all don't want to talk about them stones because I got 10 million artifacts to your one. And I'm not disrespecting because what I believe, what in here is saying is true, but I also believe that it was somebody else got their hands on it. Now, in the 17th century, The printing press made its way to the United States. That created the mass distribution of biblical scriptures. That means beforehand, only 1% of us actually had scripture. The other 99% of us had no scripture in their hand.
Yeah, Leroy, I got you, brother. I got you. You cooking right now. I feel where you're coming from, but I just want to go back. I want to take us back to the music real quick. I just didn't think the record. I just didn't think the record was that good. Suron, go, man. I just thought the record wasn't good. That's all. I mean, I hate to be so simplistic. I just thought the record wasn't good. But go with Suron, go.
With me being totally objective about it all, I can see how people don't like the record. It's not sonically pleasing to them because of the beat choice. But me, I'm listening to the content. I'm listening to what he's saying. I feel like he's talking directly to those individuals, and I consume what he's saying, and I'm not mad at it. I have no gripe about it. Is it something that was meant to be put out for replay value to try to get #1 on the charts or try to do some numbers? No, I don't think it was that. I think the message of what he wanted to get across was exactly what it was for that record. He has proven multiple times if he want to go out there and get in his bag and do certain types of music, he can. One thing that we can't take away from Kendrick is he's always been honest in his music. He's always been reflective in his music, and he's always been able to tell you exactly what place he is or what place he was once at in his life. Like I said, you have Section 80, you have Good Kid, Mad City, you have To Pimp a Butterfly, you have, Damn, and then we're looking at the last record. He's literally talking about healing in a therapeutic sense from, his boy's ways into becoming a man, admitting his flaws, being vulnerable. I don't know how you can't respect that. You can't say that it's more so self-serving when he's giving food for the soul for anybody that's possibly could relate to it. They could listen to that and it will get them through. You can't tell me that it's cosplaying when he never claimed to be anything from what you're saying. He never said, I'm your savior, I'm your leader, come with me. It's him seeing what he's saying, his experiences, and he's giving it to the world, and you consume it the way that you want to. And either you could take what he says and kind of maneuver through your life the way you want, but it's just him speaking through the lens of his life and being vulnerable enough to put it out there on wax, and you consume it as that art, man. It is what it is. It's not like his tone of his music has really changed. Like I said, his same socially conscious stuff that he has now is no different from what I used to listen to when I first listened to Kendrick. That's how I was introduced to Kendrick, is from him being socially conscious. Like, people break down Good Kid, Mad City to science. People break down To Pimp a Butterfly to a science. It's just crazy, like how if you're a real hip hop head or a hip hop purist, in that same breath, you could say that Kendrick is a poser or he's trying too hard or he's not this, and criticize music the way it is. That's a contradiction in itself.
I look at Kendrick, and when I see him, I see Eminem and the whole marketing scheme from Eminem being redone. The only difference between Eminem and Kendrick is that Eminem does, goofy ass troll, let me not say troll, but comedy rap. Kendrick tries to be conscious. I'll give Kendrick that. He does try to be conscious. I'll give him that. But the whole marketing behind him and the pretentious stuff that he does is just like, oh my God.
Every rapper that we love has multi-million-dollar marketing behind them, pushing them, and always have had that from day one.
That's not true. That is not true.
There is no MC that to this day, besides here, no great MC that we know of that did not use marketing on a multi-million-dollar level.
But even with that being said, what is the marketing of him? It's not like
got to do with it. Exactly.
What is the marketing of him? Like, it's not like we see Kendrick on a bunch of commercials. It's not like he's on a bunch of endorsements or whatever. When Kendrick pops out when he wants to pop out, and that was the indictment against him, was we don't see him enough. He's not that visible. He doesn't do interviews. He's not putting out the music the way we want him to. And then now he's out and he does put the message of whatever he wants to get across. And now the marketing of him is that, whatever. He's not the same character that you want to speak to of him that you would see of a Drake. If we want to talk about characters, I feel like Drake is more of that character and more of a marketing piece than
even Drake, I mean, he does approach records with skill. and he has an honesty in his records. I don't even see Drake as a buffoon. I don't see Drake as a buffoon.
I mean, you know, I'm gonna say this: like the song itself, it's alright. You know what I'm saying? I get where I respect the artistry. I understand what he's doing, what he's saying. As far as penmanship, it's not the most crafty. You know, he's not doing anything on paper that Ransom and Conway didn't do 10 times over. You know what I'm saying? He's playing it smart. Like, he knows what he's doing. It's obvious that he has the culture in the palm of his hand, and he can drop anything and it's going to make noise. This kind of, the theme of the song kind of felt to me like a post-war thing where he's kind of trying to analyze the stan culture and the you know, the DJ Academics kind of stuff involved with all of this, and the videos and everything else. It seems like it's like his last real nigga alive kind of deal a little bit, you know, like a post beef kind of narrative, right? It's you know what I'm saying? I'm hopeful that the album itself is going to be what's up?
Would y'all like it if Drake was out here making if Kendrick made some dumbass music? Would that be?
But I'm saying see, but here's the thing, Leroy. Leroy, hear me out. Leroy, I think like you're trying to force some people to have to like it when it's like the way that the way the sound waves hit my ear, I don't find enjoyment the way that you do. That doesn't take away from everything that he's doing, bro. You can't force that on us. Now, Leroy, man, I was rolling with you, man, and now you're just losing me because you're trying to force some shit. People can dislike the song.
This is Kendrick fan 101, man. This is another thing about Kendrick.
But Max, real quick, let me just say this before I let you
LP, real quick. This is another thing I don't like about Kendrick fans. When you don't like his stuff, you don't think, you don't understand. But when you critique it, or you're over, it's like
the same thing with like the Cole stuff. Like when fans would be like, if you don't understand J. Cole, that's why you don't like it. That's like, no, actually the beat and the thing just don't mix to me.
Hey, let Leroy
Sorry, yeah, go ahead, Leroy.
Dude, don't like Kendrick Lamar. It does not make sense for you to listen to Kendrick Lamar if you don't like
it. You're making extremes, dog. Just because we don't like this song, we're literally bringing up OD, Section 80, the Kendrick Lamar EP. Oh, okay.
It's not music for you.
Oh, no, you are talking to me. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? People don't like to have to like every single... See, Leroy, you're living on an extreme where if you don't like somebody, you automatically hate them. You are the opposite of Mad Max, but to Kendrick, where Mad Max associates Kendrick Lamar with fucking Taylor Swift and Eminem, you're doing the opposite and trying to make it seem like because we don't think the song is a 5 out of 5, that we hate on him, but we can just dislike the song, bro. It doesn't take... Nas is my favorite. I don't like this song. It don't mean I hate him.
You still fucking talking.
Yes, because you're not making any sense, bro.
Lamar has a fan base. If you are not in that fan base, there are other rappers you can listen to.
That's why I'm still talking, because you're not listening, bro. You can be in the fan base and not like an individual song. You're acting like because somebody doesn't like the song that they're not in the fan base. What are you talking about, Leroy? You're talking too much. Use your logic, man. It doesn't make any sense what you're saying right now. It doesn't.
Talking.
I know. I am. Yes, that's what happens.
But you don't.
And you're not getting the logic, bro. You can't say that because somebody doesn't like the song. I got it. My bad. Go ahead.
Time out. Let everybody speak.
Go ahead, Leroy. Leroy's got the floor. Go ahead, man.
Do I? I stayed quiet for 5 minutes while people are talking. Listen, there are 100 million people out there. You are not supposed to like every rapper. That is insane. So if you do not like Kendrick Lamar, then you don't have to like his music. You don't have to like his songs. You don't have to like his albums. You don't have to watch his performances. You don't have to click every time you see his name. That is insanity. There are
agreed. So Leroy, my question though, but here's the thing. You started rambling because I said that I didn't like the... Bro, you're literally... Look at you, bro. Like, you're on the screen rambling.
LP, let him finish, bro.
Oh, okay. Man, he's still going. All right, my bad.
LP, but there is no point after that, because the only point you could make after that is I know this person, I'm really not fond of his music, but I'm choosing to still listen and then choosing to complain about it.
But no, but see, Leroy, that's not what I'm saying. That's what you're taking because I just said that I wasn't fond of the song. Literally, I got on the chat defending Kendrick because I've been listening since the Kendrick Lamar EP, since Section 80, since motherfucking OD. I was in the blogs. I don't know if you were. I was in the fucking blogs. I was out there. I've been a fan. I just defended Kendrick from fucking him in your favor. I'm agreeing with you. Now what happens is that then when I have an actual opinion about the song that dropped yesterday and I said that song doesn't hit to me, I understand it, I respect it, I think it's cool. Yeah, but then you start saying, well, if you don't like the song and you're not a fan, just don't listen. Bro, I didn't say it doesn't have to be an extreme where if I don't like the song, I'm not a fan of his. I'm a fan of his, I just didn't like the song. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of Nas. I didn't like Beat Breaks. I love Beat Breaks. I'm just saying, I'm trying to use an example, right? I like this artist. I didn't like this song. I don't understand where in your brain it went into you don't like him, you're not a fan. When it's like, nah, it's just the song.
His song, you do not have to like his song.
I know. So what's your point of just saying you don't have to like the song? I know. Duh, that's a common sense thing. That's a logical explanation. You don't like the song. Cool. Doesn't mean you hate his guts.
Okay, so there's nothing to talk about if you don't like his song because he's not asking you to like it.
Bro, we're on a fucking debate show. We're communicating. Ron puts a little link on there. He says, hey, you have an opinion on the song? Click on it. Give your expression. What do you think about the song? Ron doesn't like it. You love it. Somebody else thinks it's cool. I express, oh man, I don't like the song. It's all right. You're like, why are you on here talking about Kendrick Lamar?
Stop. Crazy. You're talking. Okay. Don't know what I said.
So, bro, you're reacting to what I said and trying to paint this extreme picture, man.
No,
all right. So, can I ask a question?
Not like Kendrick Lamar. It's okay that
you're still saying it, man. You're still trying to project on me that I don't like Kendrick Lamar because I wasn't fond of the song. Like, how do you not understand your logic and how it doesn't make any sense, man? Come on, man. Leroy, what you doing right now? Seriously.
Let him speak.
People, you do not have to like Kendrick Lamar's song. You don't have to like his albums. You don't have to like his performances. It's okay. He is not talking to you. He is talking to people that like his music. So if you don't like it, there's nothing wrong with that song. If you don't like that song, that's perfectly okay. I think the song is all right. I think it's cool. I think he put the nail in the coffin of the argument. But this thinking that we have to like rappers or their songs or Kendrick Lamar or what they do, we don't have to like them or their songs. So if you say you don't like it, who gives a fuck? He's not asking you to like it.
Hey, one thing real quick. I want you to go real quick. I know Mad Max, you had a question, but I want to say one thing real quick. Michael Brown, I want you to email me. I got a job for you because you are so critical of the show. I want to hire you as a producer of Recording Hip Hop. If you can debate me and you can beat me, I'll give you $5,000. So email me. Me and Michael Brown go out. We have a special show for you. I write you a $5,000 check, and you can be the producer of Recording Hip Hop. Since you want to produce the shows, we can do it like that. But so Ron, cook up real quick, and then Matt Max, I
know Matt asked your question. I want Matt to get this question now.
It was not really a question. I was really just hoping to break up the fight between Leroy and LP. But I have a theory though. I know who Kendrick's gonna bring out in the halftime show. I figured it out.
Taylor?
No. I hope not. What the hell?
Colin Kaepernick.
I don't want that either, but
you're gonna bring out Colin Kaepernick and they're gonna take a knee in front of the flag, right?
No. He's not bringing up. Well, he might do that. I wasn't thinking that far. I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking, what's the connection between Jay-Z and Kendrick? That why would they? What's the connection between them, right? So I'm like, damn, what's the connection between these two guys? And then it clicked in my head, Pharrell also has that issue with a Birdman. So I'm starting to think Pharrell is in behind the scenes, and Pharrell will be performing at the halftime show. He might he's probably gonna bring out Pusha in the clips because Pusha, he loves Kendrick, so he's probably gonna bring out the clips. Kendrick's gonna probably also invite Snoop, and to give a middle finger to what's his name, Birdman, who's Mr. On Gladys. They're gonna bring up They're gonna bring up Master P, who was diplomatic, and bring up No Limit, and that's gonna be the New Orleans representation with hopefully some New Orleans jazz artists, and hopefully they do that too. But that's gonna be the show. I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen.
See, I haven't really sat and thought about like what that performance is going to look like or what message he's trying to get across. I know New Orleans is very rich in culture. So like I said, on Monday's show, I would like to see some of that incorporated in some form or fashion. That's the thing about this Super Bowl show. I don't know what angle he's going to take. And that's why I think it makes me like more intrigued about seeing what he's going to do, because I didn't know what to expect from the pop-up show. So that's what kind of like makes me excited for this and the anticipation there. So it's interesting in that sense. One thing I would say, just to get my point off and let this be that, how I assess Kendrick and how I assess Drake is I assess Kendrick as being a product of the culture, and I assess Drake as being a fan of the culture who integrated into it. And I think that was apparent in this beef. And that's not taken away from Drake's body of work. It's nothing wrong with being a fan of the culture in sort of a sense. Most consumers are fans of the culture, but I feel like when it came down to this beef, being a product of the culture stood more on top of being a fan of it. And it came to light pretty soon and faster than what people wanted to believe. But that's just where it's at. And like I said, I can see if people don't like the record. I can see if it's not their favorite. Like I said, objectively, if I take myself out of being a fan of Kendrick, I don't think it was the most sonically pleasing. I don't think it was bars like he was there trying to bar someone up. But I do think his point was to address some things and get his messages off. And I think that was the mission. And that's what happened. I mean, it did some millions in like 12 minutes or whatever, like on IG. So people were listening to see what he had to say. People were going to hate it. People were going to love it. But at the end of the day, I think his mission of what he wanted to get across and the people he wanted to listen, he did that. So,
Hold on, man. Ain't no war going on out here because you're not prepared for that. So let me be very clear. This is not being about super fan for Kendrick. This is about, man, pick better people to hate on, man. Kendrick is not the one. I could see if he was out here making us look crazy as a people. That's not what he's doing. Let that man cook. You don't have to like him. Like there were 100 other rappers. You don't have to like this man. But let this man cook, man, because we've been complaining for years. Oh, we want a conscious rapper. We want somebody who's saying something in their music. We want somebody who's saying something on their albums. We want this and that. Then when one shows up, it's all this hate, or this problem. I don't like that. Hold on. And for Coop in the chat, go take that somewhere else because nobody mentioned you or your little homies or whatever you got going on over there. So before you come talking about a war to me or anything over here, go back to whatever you was doing, brother, because I'm really already there. So again,
I know Coop very well. Coop knows me. He's just upset right now because we got, the CNN check with Fox News before they go on live. We just run our shows when we run our shows, man. I had no idea. I don't know what time they come on. I don't watch this show. I really don't.
Shout out
to Jar on the Rap Roundtable. I watched the Rap Roundtable. I like what they got going on over there, but I don't know nothing about his show. I don't know what time it come on. We pulled up. Suron, Mike, and I were in the chat. I hit Leroy up earlier today. And that's how we rock. We come on. So there's no kind of beef. It's no war. I mean, my house is at. My house don't move.
It could be what it's
been to my house before, B. You know what I'm saying? So my house is gonna be here, out here, nice out here in this nice neighborhood that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? You know where I'm at. So I'm not hard to find. We can have a conversation like, man, it ain't no war like that. We just be on podcasters,
like
talking about hip hop. And that's what it is. That's what it is, bro. So
man, Coop is just being competitive, man. Chill. It's not like that, man.
But when you be competitive, it's a way to do that. Shout out to the Rap Roundtable. It's a way to do that. But like Jay Electronica was saying, with all this, we quick to beef with each other. But anybody else, we got no smoke for at all. None. Zero. So save it with all the fake beef and fake toughing, because I'm not faking like that. So I'm not even going to entertain that, because it's a lot of fake tough guyism. If you want to be tough, beef with the people that's really running the culture, the people behind the curtain, the people with the billions of dollars, the people who is not from this culture, who's really running it. Show me that you can beef with them before you think about beefing with me. Okay?
Yeah, and I, that's all. We're gonna leave it at that. Like I said, it ain't no beef. I really don't think about what they do. We appreciate what Coop did for the platform during his time with us, and we honor that. And I might buy him a drink when I see him. It's no problem. But I don't know what time those dudes come on. I know somebody in the chat said I did this intentional that I'm fronting. I have no idea what time those dudes come on. I don't watch this show. Shout out to Rap Roundtable. I like their show. Jarvis is a stand-up guy. He was on our show a couple of weeks ago. So we respect what they got going on. We like what Coop got going on, but I just don't watch it. So I don't know if they're coming on tonight. I'm about to watch football. I don't know what time they come on. But anyway,
YouTube is not the street. YouTube is not the street. I need everybody to be clear. YouTube is not the street.
Damn, I'm just gonna bet on my fault.
All right. Well, I got a football game to watch. I got a guy I call the Weapon X, the best player in football, about to do some shit in Miami tonight. Josh Allen. So I'm gonna go around. LP, before we close out, any final thoughts on the night, bro?
Yeah, man. As far as the pod war stuff and all that type of shit, I'm a fan of it all, honestly. Like, I'll never pick or feel gaslit to like choose, or I spend money with everybody. I try to catch it all. I think this space is too small. So anybody that pops up, whether it's Fresh Out, y'all, Hip Hop Talks, I'm gonna go over there and follow what they're doing right now as soon as I get off of here. Mad Max triggered me, so I couldn't not talk my shit to him. So, but I'm a fan of all this shit, man. So I do understand the healthy competition, and I get if Mike and Ron feel, there's personal shit going on with that. Me as a fan, I hope that everybody succeed. You guys find your shit, and I'm gonna support as a fan. You know what I mean? In regards to Kenny and all that type of shit, I'm sure the album's gonna be dope. You know what I'm saying? The Super Bowl performance, he got the dub. He destroyed Drake. This is the victory lap. He gets to do it however he wants to. If he wants to bring out Master P in them, that's going to be dope. He seems like he's smart enough, to Mad Max's point. If he does have that Eminem team behind him, then he's definitely going to make sure that he shows NO love during the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if he doesn't want to, strategically, it makes sense to pander to that audience, So that's pretty much it, man. Shout out to y'all.
Man, appreciate it.
No doubt, brother. Mad Max, final thoughts for the night, brother. And no Josh Allen slander. I'm gonna put him back on the screen.
I'm not. Well, the funny thing about that, I was in a fantasy draft and I drafted Josh Allen.
Oh, so you know what it is. You already know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it is. I'm not an idiot. I know that he gonna win me some money.
The numbers is the numbers.
But look, I don't like Kendrick. I haven't liked Kendrick in a while. I don't think I will ever like Kendrick pretty much again after high school. I've moved on from him, and that's cool. I get the whole he's from the culture argument that people say he was raised in the culture, but and personally to me, the way Drake does certain records, I like 5 a.m. in Toronto Drake. I like Stay Scheming Drake. That Drake he sounds a lot closer to the rappers I like typically than Kendrick. I hear Kendrick, I hear Eminem. When Drake is at least in that little 5 a.m. in Toronto bag, I'm not gonna say Nas, but he do remind me of my classic 90s rhymers who was just talking on wax. He's not as good as them, but he does remind me of that. So you want to say he's a fan? That's cool. He must have studied real well, and he brought something to the game. But that new Kendrick record was whack, and I got love for Coop. Everybody knows Coop be getting on me. That's my man's. I will never diss Coop. I got love for Coop. I got love for everybody. I got love for Mike, Ron. I got love for every brother and sister on the planet Earth, except for Kendrick.
No doubt. Let me get to the super chat real quick, and then Savon, you go, and then Leroy, you take us home, brother. My man Art from Kenobi with the super chat says from Time feature No Guns Allowed, The Calm, The Shoe Fits. If you say he doesn't have any songs that make you think, you should at least do the research. All right, we respect that. We respect that. So Ron, final thoughts of the night, brother.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what he's gonna put together for this album. Like I said, I don't see that you're gonna have this going on. Dang, that's me. But I don't see, I don't
they
see
pulled up on you, bro.
Yeah,
they pulled up on you.
Yeah.
Man, don't pull up on Sir Von. Man, don't do
yeah,
that.
they pull up on me
on this pod beef. Man, don't pull up on my dude.
No, but
damn,
like
come on,
I
man.
can see how one doesn't like the record. Like I said, it's not too sonically pleasing. It's cool. I want to see what he comes with on the album. I can't imagine him doing the album around and not putting it out around the Super Bowl. I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer. So we'll see where it goes from here. Like I say, and I'll say on every episode, all I want from this point on is just good music. That's all I want.
No doubt, no doubt. Leroy Green, what's good, brother?
Only thing I'm just gonna say is this: every now and then in hip hop, we actually have a real problem. Like we'll have a Tekashi 6ix9ine or some type of person that will come in, and they do kind of create a problem. And just the music, the business aspect of it, the type of energy that they bring to it, it'll be a problem. Sometimes we got to just let some people rock. I think Kendrick Lamar has earned enough to where we can just let him rock. Do we have to like everything he does? No, but to constantly week after week go at this man, let this man just rock, man. It's Kendrick Lamar. We're all familiar. We don't have to like everything, but we know what he stands for as a man. Put the music aside a bit. What he stands for as a man, from people trying to get up out their circumstances in Compton. He's trying to be positive. He's trying to spread a message that I thought you all grew up on anyway. So let this man rock. As far as any other alternative business, I'm with everything, but let's keep in mind that them other people, I mean, not us as black people, but the people in the upper offices of the culture, they laughing. They laughing when we choose to bicker and fight amongst each other and go on these little tangents with each other. They find that to be quite entertaining because we still have not learned to let our people rock and go at the right targets. So what Jay Electronica said on Twitter, I'm down with that. Whatever people want to do, I'm here every Saturday and sometimes during the week. But shout out to everybody. Rock out, man. Peace to Kendrick Lamar.
No doubt. I want to say a few things before I get out of here. Real quick, I want to say a few things. Number one, Michael Brown, I was just joking, brother. I do want to get you to call in. You have so much to say. I think you'll be an asset to the show. Call in, tap in sometime. We have a conversation. Have some fun with it, man. It's all good, man. So that was jokes earlier. The second thing, man, this podcast game space. I'm a producer. I was in the background. I feel the need, came in, do our thing, whatever. We have fun here. To respect, again, I don't really care. I'm a grown man. I got 3 children, a wife. I don't care what someone says about me on a podcast or a chat. That doesn't make me lose sleep. I got bigger things to worry about than that. We got deals that you guys don't even know about that's coming down the pipeline. I don't care about what someone says. I mean, you don't want to see the private. They say things on air, but I get text messages. The energy is different privately, and we have a mutual respect for one another. So again, shout out to the Rap Roundtable. We appreciate what they do. They take their jokes. They got jokes. It's all good. It's all love. We appreciate what they do. It's all mutual respect. And Jarv and I have had multiple conversations. He was on the platform 2 weeks ago. So it's all good. There's no problem there. What's in the past is in the past. We're moving forward. The other guys, I don't care. I don't know what time they come on. Again, I'm not checking the YouTube TV guide I'm not scrolling back in the day and seeing what time slot they got and making my moves like that. We have a need. We have a platform. We come on anytime we want to. They don't own YouTube. They don't own According to Hip Hop. We do what we do. So they're going to say what they're going to say. They feel a certain type. Who cares? Again, I'm not losing no sleep. Again, back to the music. This is what it's about, right? It's the music. I didn't like the Kendrick Lamar record. I do appreciate some of his music. I'm hoping he'll put out more records. I hate to be so simplistic, but I think you can have a mix. You can have a mix of conscious records, and you can have a mix of records that kind of move the people. Because sometimes you just don't want to. You want to incorporate your message where people can digest it. Meet me where I'm at. I'm not just trying to be bouncing my shoulder. I'm too old. I might throw something my back out or something. But I just want to hear some music I can chill to, vibe to, and then get the message like that. But this was a great night. I got to go watch football, guys. I know somebody, I think Mad Max, you had something else to say?
No, not really. I'll just respond to Jack. He's saying Jarvis talking mess about me, but I don't really know what he's talking about.
We grown, man. This is not middle.
Yeah,
this is not middle. This is not middle.
It sounds female.
This is not middle school.
Jarv came on the platform. Jarv came on the show.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just think it's like feminine. I don't know. Like you want me to go.
But let's end on
like I don't get it.
Let's end on a positive note. Tonight, y'all turn into Amazon Prime. Watch Weapon X, the man in Buffalo, Josh Allen. I'm thinking 275 yards passing, 3 TDs, and a rushing TD. 35-21 Buffalo Bills. Let's go.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Be good, man.
Have a good night, guys. Peace.
Have a good one.